So hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bre. I'm part of the customer success team over here at commonsku, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about marketing shots. Now, for those of you who have trained with me, you're going to know that I like to talk a mile a minute. We are going to be covering a lot of content during our session, but don't worry, this is being recorded. We'll be uploading a copy of the recording to the past events section of the community events, so you'll be able to watch this whenever you need. So feel free just to sit back, relax. You can kind of take in the content as it's coming. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to us through that Q&A panel. If you are watching this recording after the event, you can also reach out to us by contacting support through your profile icon or at support@commonsku.com. All right, so enough for the intro. Let's dive in. So today we are talking all about marketing shops. Now, marketing shops on the surface. These are a great way to market, of course. So you can use this to send product ideas to prospects if you want to show them what's available. You can create marketing shops that it's being sent to your existing clients. There's also other ways I've seen marketing shops created, which is actually for a particular client, but it allows them to place orders and actually upload artwork as they're doing that order. So sometimes you might have a client who wants to use different logos. And if they want to be able to just order those things on demand, a marketing shop can also accommodate that as well. So plenty of different ways you can use them. We're going to talk about a couple of those features today. Now, as usual, I am going to begin by showing you the client view of a marketing shop. So let's dive in here. In this case, I have created a marketing shop with some home office ideas. So I have thrown together some products, and maybe I've sent this out in an email blast to clients. Maybe I've embedded it on a landing page. Spoiler alert, we're going to get to both of those things later. So when our client first opens the shop, I have added a splash screen for them. Great place to put that important information, especially when you are using a marketing shop. So you can use this section to let the client know that not only are their products available here, but if they don't find what they're looking for, they can reach out. Maybe you'll find a better fit. Now, once they go to start shopping, they're going to see all the products that you have made available. Very similar to your presentations, you can use these different titles to filter the products. So I've kind of made little categories to make it easier for the shopper to see what's available. When they click into that product, they are going to see the full detail that you've added. And with marketing shops, we are enforcing minimum quantities here. So the idea is when you're putting together a marketing shop, you want somebody to be able to come in, order their products, and have that turn into a ready to produce sales order straight away. So minimums are enforced at this level. We'll get to how you can set those minimums when we take a look at the back end, but in this case, we are letting them know that we require at least 72. Now, I've also added some additional charges into the products. You can do this with any of the shops, of course, but it's especially helpful with the marketing one. We've let them know that this is on sale, and we've also built in the artwork pricing. So when they actually go to add the product into their cart, they're now going to be able to choose at least that minimum quantity, if not more, and also upload their artwork to this stage. So they can just click to upload their logo. I'm just going to grab a quick file that I've got here. Now from there, they can continue shopping. So if they click the Keep Shopping button, they can browse the other products, decide what else they would like to add. Once they have uploaded their logo to at least one product, when they go to upload moving forward, they can use that existing artwork or they can upload something new. So we also want to make this easier for your shopper. They don't have to keep uploading over and over again. They can select from whatever they've already added. Now, very important with a marketing shop, because we're maybe sending this to clients or prospects or really anyone, if we take a look at the total that's showing at the bottom, it is excluding shipping, freight, and taxes. So those final charges are not captured at this level. For that reason, when we go to check out with a marketing shop, you're going to notice that there's no option for credit card payment here. So very important, currently there is no credit card payment available in marketing shops. We are using this to be able to capture that client's information, which we'll enter in just a second, as well as get the products that they want to order. From there, they're going to be able to submit their order, and then that will create a sales order in commonsku, which we can continue to process. Look at that in just a moment. So once your client has added all of their products here, they're just entering their contact details. So company name, billing, and shipping information. If they're different, they can enter them separately or they can bulk that together. And then once they click to submit order, you're going to get an email notification so you know that an order has been placed. And then let's take a look at what happens on the back end of a marketing shop. So I'm going to begin by continuing with that order process. We'll talk about how we would go through that sales order and any edits that we would make. After that, we're going to come back here because I want to start talking about the settings and product options. So how do we add the option to upload artwork, and do we have to add that option? The answer is no, it actually is your choice. So we'll take a look at those differences. We are just going to begin with processing an order though. So as soon as the shopper places an order, we are going to send the order rep as well as the shop contact an email notification. Just like the other shops, you know the order has been placed. It's then going to tier into this orders tab, and it sits in a checkouts area. The reason it's sitting in a checkouts area is because we don't quite know yet what client this order is for. So this is where you can decide how you would like to move forward. If you click into the checkouts, it'll show you the detail that the shopper has entered, and then it's going to tell you what client that should be matched to. So in this case, it's matching it based on email. If that is the correct client, perfect, I can assign it to that account. If it's a different client, I can also change my mind in here. You can even use this opportunity to create a brand new client. So if you haven't worked with them before, maybe this is a prospect, you can create a new client from this level. Now, once you have assigned the order or created the client, it's then going to take that checkout and move it into the orders tab. This is showing the sales orders that have been produced from that shop. From there, we can click into the sales order, and this shows us exactly what they placed, including all of that billing and shipping detail. So that is entered. Now, what would not be entered is that fine print. So again, shipping, freight, fulfillment, taxes, all of that really fun stuff. So you want to go ahead and make those updates at this level. Now, just looking at the product information, I'm going to click to edit the item. And I do want to highlight that the artwork that the client or shopper has uploaded is also available here for your reference. So you've got a copy of that. When you go to produce the POs, it will be attached. But of course, you can still make changes if you need to. Now, the next steps kind of depend on the client or the nature of the shop. So aside from adding tax, which of course I recommend doing, and aside from maybe adding some service charges, you might still send this out to get formal approval before you go ahead and move it into production. Other teams actually just take it and turn it into an invoice right away. So especially if you're sending marketing shops to people who have placed orders before, they might know the drill. When you send them the invoice, you could then add credit card payment to that invoice if you wanted to. They could make that payment and then you could move it into production from there. So that's the order process with the marketing shop. Now let's take a look at some of those back-end settings. I'm just going to click back into the shop over here, and we're going to start inside of that settings tab. Now in the general settings area, we always want to make sure we've got the correct reps assigned, namely the order rep. They'll receive an email notification when the orders start coming through. And then of course, the different contacts as well. The shop contact is going to get an email when it comes through. This could be someone on your team if it's in-house. This could also be an external contact. So if you are creating the shop on behalf of another client, you could add their contact information in here. Now, another option is to password protect, not as common with marketing shops, but that is still available if you'd like it. And then you can also add an expiry date. An expiry date is a date when the shop expires, so to speak. So no one will be able to go in and place orders after this date. Aside from setting an expiry date, if you want to close the shop, you can also just change its status to closed. Now, of course, we saw that splash screen. That is the information that populates when we first open the shop. So great place to put important detail. And then we didn't get to this area because I didn't fully complete a checkout, but there is also a checkout message. So you decide that final thing that your shopper is going to see once they have completed their order. This is a great place to let them know about next steps. Now let's click into the products. The first step is, of course, adding a product to your shop. If you click Add Product, it's going to show you the different databases. This is very similar to adding products to your orders, except the Sage integration is not available. So very important to note, you cannot add your Sage products to shops, not adding them directly, not copying for orders. So I'm sorry, there's no workarounds on that one. If your team is strictly using Sage, you also have the option of sourcing products from Distributor Central. This is a free integrated search after all. You can also use supplier collections or even create your own custom products from your company database. So lots of alternatives available. Now, once the products are added in, you can begin to edit them, of course, changing the information that we're going to show the shoppers. This is also where we're able to add an artwork location to the product. Adding an artwork location to the product is what allows the shopper to be able to upload their artwork. So very important. If you want them to have the ability to upload their artwork, make sure you are including an artwork location here. Now, not only do you have to add that location, you've got to enter the required details. So the location itself, where is this going? You'll also want to click to add the artwork info and capture the required information on this left-hand side. Now, a really quick cheat for this information, because sometimes you might not know the logo name, size, and color, you can also just put a little space in that area. That tricks the system into thinking there's text, so it will no longer require that field because it does think it's filled in. You can use that cheat, of course, for almost anywhere inside of commonsku, but it is especially helpful in the marketing shop if you don't have this detail quite yet. Now, a big difference here is we're not uploading an image. The reason is we're going to let the shopper upload their own artwork to this area. So the client will be able to select their image when they are placing the order. Now, looking at the different pricing details, whatever cost column you have on that left-hand side, that will be the minimum that's enforced in the shop. So in my case, this is 72. It could be 1, it can be whatever you want. Just keep in mind that it will require the shopper to purchase at least that amount. Now, just like our presentations, when we add the artwork location, we can also include the imprint cost as well as any setup charges. So I've captured those. A unique thing with shops, though, is the ability to add upcharges. So with this particular product, I actually had 2 sizes they can purchase. And if they went with a 20 ounce, there was an upcharge of $2. So just an additional amount that would be due. That would, of course, flow to the sales order. So on the surface, that's how we can edit products through our marketing shop. A question that does come up every now and then is, what if I don't want the client to upload artwork? Well, that's completely fine. They don't have to upload artwork. In that case, just don't add a decoration location. If there's no decoration location, they will not be able to upload their artwork. Usually in that case, you are just selling maybe branded items. So they're going to get them as is. Or you could be selling blank items, however you want to work that. Now, I'm just going to touch on the design really quickly because, of course, this is the same across all of your shops. You've got the 3 different themes you can choose from. It's very common with the marketing shops to use that featured product theme. So we're choosing 4 featured items that are front and center when our client first opens that shop. From there, they're able to click in and see all of those products. Now, customizations you can be doing here. You can choose kind of this banner title. So I've called this Home Office Ideas. You can also choose what text or image appears in that top left-hand corner. So I've changed this to customize your home office. You can also upload an image there. And then the Shop Now button. I've called it Shop Now. By default, I believe it says Browse All Products. So you can change that text as well. Now, final edit we're making from this area is just changing our accent color. So that accent color is just going to show the different text on the products as well as the buttons. Of course, it's good to have a little bit of a contrast there, but you can use whatever color you like. So that is kind of a brief tour of the common use case of marketing shops. Let's talk about some less common use cases. So I'm going to open another shop that I have created here. It's my little Join the SKU Crew shop. We'll see if that catches on. And not only am I using this to showcase products, I'm also using this as kind of a promotional or sales tool. Now, I'm going to steal from Bobby in his Future of Shops webinar when he talked about kind of building a brand within the brand. So once we click into this shop, I really tried to make it commonsku-esque. You'll notice that some of these photos are very familiar. They are from our Instagram account. So shout out to everybody. If I've used your photo, I've tagged you. So thank you so much for that. Now, with this particular shop, using it as a sales tool means sometimes I might have custom products that aren't really products that I'm selling to the client. So for example, I've put in these images that kind of explain how marketing shops work. I've also mentioned you can follow us on Instagram at commonsku. Now, if the shopper clicks into these, they're still laid out like products are. They have their product name. They could have a description. I just left that blank in my case. One thing you're going to notice that you're not seeing here is pricing. So there is a little bit of a cheat. We don't talk about this very often, but you can turn your marketing shops into catalogs. So if you have products that you just want to show the client, they're not really available for purchase. We will get to it very shortly. I'm going to show you how you can hide that pricing inside of a marketing shop. That just means that your clients, will call them because they're not shoppers anymore. They're able to come in and see what you've made available without having that add button. So they don't need to add those products in. Now, of course, with any of your shops, you can upload multiple images. I didn't showcase this in the previous one, so we'll take a look at that here. If you've added that artwork location, it will require them to upload their artwork when they select the product. A little bit of a cheat with the artwork. The art name is actually what is reflected here. So I've changed the art name to upload vector artwork. Kind of just makes it seem like a direction, makes it more likely the client is going to upload what I need. So that is a little bit of a cheat. When you're adding the decoration location, change the name to more of a direction. In this case, upload vector artwork. Now, just to go to another product, I'm going to pop into these super comfy sweatshirts. With this one, I did not add an artwork location. So the client is able to go in and choose whatever we've made available, but they're not uploading anything at this level. So taking a look at the backend settings of this, I'm just going to skip right into the product. Two things that I want to cover are just how you can hide that pricing from the client. And then again, just reiterating, if you don't have an artwork location on the product, they don't need to upload here. So hiding pricing from the client and turning this more into a catalog. If we just go down to the pricing columns, I've just selected hidden across the board. If all of these are hidden, then there's no pricing. There's also no way for your client to add the product to the order. So just to reiterate, it's kind of all or nothing. If it's a catalog, they cannot add it to the order. It will not be optional. If we are showing at least one of the quantity breaks, regardless of what we've added in for the price point, they will be able to add it to their checkout. Now, we've talked about using these kind of custom products before to showcase informational tiles. So this is just a custom item I've popped in. I've uploaded an image here, which of course has our branding on it. So you could do something really similar for your clients. Now I am just going to go down to that apparel piece. We'll give it a quick scroll. This one did not have that artwork location. So again, that upload option was not available. Now, of course, I cannot talk about marketing shops without talking about marketing. So I do want to touch on our marketing integrations really quickly and different ways that you can get these shops out to your current clients and future clients. Those are your prospects. So I am popping over to admin, settings, marketing software integration. We have new integrations with Mailchimp and Hubspot. This means you can connect your commonsku account to those different integrations and start exporting your contact information. That way you can send targeted marketing through that partner. So with this example, I am connected to Hubspot. I've already fully connected everything. So I can click to view the sync info. And this just tells me what information I've synced. That means information I have sent over. So you can initially segment this by things like the client statuses, departments, and industries. Once the details land in Hubspot and Mailchimp, you can do further segments inside there as well. So it pulls over other things such as the client tags as well as the contact tags, and then of course, all of their personal information. Now let's talk about what you could be sending out through those marketing partners. I'm actually going to start with Mailchimp. So opening our Mailchimp account here. Now with this, I have created an e-blast. So I'm just showing my marketing shops. Because I have synced all of those contacts, I'm adding them into the audience. So this is the audience that is going to receive this email. Now, this is going to get a little bit Mailchimpy for a second. So if you're not using Mailchimp, just hold on. We will get to some Hubspot stuff in just a moment. But when you are doing the two fields, this is actually important in both platforms. You are able to use those custom merge tags. These are the commonsku merge tags that come over. So I actually have directed this to be able to show the contact's first name and last name. When I'm sending them an email, it's more personalized. You can also use merge tags, of course, inside of the email body as well. So that was a little bit of a quick side note. We've got all that done. I've built out my content here, and then I've sent it out to those recipients. So 141 recipients in our example. Let's just take a look at what they would have received. Okay, so I have created an e-blast for that SKU crew shop. So I've put in a nice image here, which of course you can hyperlink. If they click this, it's going to take them to the shop. I've hyperlinked the button as well. I'm going to steal a little bit more from Bobby. We are not just selling products. Of course, this is an experience too. And in this case, the whole community is really all about socializing and coming together. So I've also got to plug a couple members of our awesome sales team. I could not fit everybody in, but I popped them into the bottom as well. So just sharing that community love. Oh, stripping on my words there. Okay, so that is an email blast from Mailchimp. Again, we took the contacts from commonsku, synced them with Mailchimp, and then we're able to send out this targeted email campaign. Now let's pop over to Hubspot. I'm not actually going to show you the back end of HubSpot. I want to show you what I have done with my HubSpot landing page. So this is how you would present an embedded marketing shop. We've got our commonsku.com page here. This is commonsku as normal. You can log in, do all your fun stuff. I've also popped in a marketing shop. So people are able to pop in, they can see the products we've made available, go in, order your different items. That's going to create the sales order in commonsku. So even though it appears that it's happening externally, we're still going to get that order inside of commonsku's system. Now, I know that you can't see the URL that's at the very top, but this would be your landing page or whatever landing page you're embedding it into. So you don't have to have that generic marketing shop link anymore. You can personalize this, whether it's for yourself or for your clients. Now, another way you can do this, of course, is embedding the full thing. So this is what it would look like fully embedded in a landing page. I've taken out the commonsku header and footer. These customization options really depend on whoever you're using for a landing page provider. So I was able to do this with HubSpot. I will mention Mailchimp's landing pages do not allow for custom HTML coding. Unfortunately, you can't do this with Mailchimp because they don't allow you to embed the iframes that are required. Now, I know the term iframe can sound a little scary, but I actually created these myself, and I just found information about the iframes online, so it actually was not that hard to build them out. One personal note I want to put forward is that the iframes are definitely very finicky. You have to have the proper coding inside there, so if you're not familiar with doing this, definitely touch base with somebody who is. So whether you've got a person on your team who is comfortable with doing it, or you've got somebody that you're outsourcing to, just make sure they understand how everything is entered. That way, when visitors go to your web page, it flows nice and smooth. So for example, when they're scrolling around, the footer isn't coming and overlapping anything. So really important to make sure those details are good. Now, I've got a couple more things I want to mention. And of course, naturally, those are support resources. So if you go into commonsku, click into your shops tab, you can click to create a shop. And then we do have a roadmap available. So if you're not sure what shop is right for your client, you can click here, tour that shop roadmap. We will help guide you to the right solution. If you just want to learn more about marketing shops, scroll to the bottom, select marketing shop. We have demo shops here as well as further information. If in doubt, you can also book a shop talk. So still through that shops tab, click book a shop talk that will connect you with the earliest available customer success specialist. We can help you identify what shop fits your client's needs. You can also check out our help articles. We've got our shops help articles here, including those demo shops. And then last stop, of course, would be, why did I open this again? I think I opened it again for Shop Talk, so I kind of jumped ahead. So Shop Talk, roadmap, support resources. Oh, also check out the Learn tab. Of course, we've got shops content from commonsku University Plus, all of our past stuff as well. So there's some great tidbits there. Now, speaking of great tidbits, I have done a lot of talking, which is good because I'm really familiar with creating marketing shops inside commonsku, but I want to give you some insights from somebody who is actually using them in their sales process. So I am going to bring up my guest. We have Grant Mahan. He is with Elite Promotional Marketing. So Grant, why don't you come up on stage with me?
Hi, Bre.
All right. Hi. Thank you so much for joining today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, actually. So everybody, I do want to help kind of pick Grant's brain. We're going to talk about how his team is using commonsku Shop. So a couple questions that I am going to be running through. Again, just to remind everybody, if you have questions that have not been answered thus far, please add them to that Q&A panel. Grant will not be getting back to you, but I definitely can, so I can help out. So just to start, Grant, can you tell the audience a little bit about your role as an outside sales rep at Elite Promotional Marketing?
Yeah, for sure. So my role as an outside sales rep is basically to obviously look for new business opportunities, create rapport with our existing clients, building upon those relationships and growing sales, and keeping up with all the new product trends and new ideas and opportunities, and then really take it from the initial stages of product ideation all the way through to the sales process and cutting POs. And then furthermore to that, I've somehow taken on the task of being our internal commonsku go-to person as well. So that falls under my role as well.
I mean, the support team, we praise you for that. So thank you. But it sounds like a lot there. So you get to handle kind of the front end of everything in terms of maintaining that client relationship, throwing together the sales. And it sounds like you're passing off the point where you've got an operations team who kind of carries things forward. Did I get that correctly?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, awesome. So how do you incorporate marketing shops into your sales process?
Well, we're always looking for ways to add our shops, of course, and shops are always on our radar, whether that's pop-ups or company or marketing shops. Anytime that we can automate that process, we're going to do it. And I think it's fair to say that everybody here is probably always looking for efficiencies and ways to automate. I mean, that's why a large reason we've all gravitated towards commonsku in the first place. So incorporating them into, I think a lot of the times we'll try and be proactive instead of reactive. It's very easy in this industry when we get busy to be reactive. So if we can create these marketing shops into the right circumstances to show clients what we can do for them and present it to them as an opportunity for their own internal branding. We have a number of clients that have a lot of locations or ship tos and bill tos where it might work well for them internally to use a marketing shop. And then to your point, we use them a lot with our own mail outs and flyers and promotions as well.
You hit on so many things I love, and then I don't have time to drill in, but I do just want to give everybody that high level there. So I love the proactive versus reactive approach as well. So being able to, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but anticipate the needs, of course, ahead of time and kind of showing them a solution to that problem maybe they didn't know that they had. I love that. And I also love what you just said about doing it more internally for clients so that if they have different departments who are placing orders, this actually presents an easier solution for them. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, for sure. We have a number that have different locations and their own budgets and their own billing and everything. So where a marketing shop fits versus a company shop is, we've come across it more often than not that it works out really, really well.
That's actually quite awesome. At the head end, I'd mentioned I'd heard of teams doing that, but not quite in that regard. So when we take this offline, I'm going to learn a little bit more about that. Just being mindful of everyone's time. I've got 2 more questions here. So everyone, I know we're in the last minute. We're in crunch time. If you could hang out for a few more moments, I would really love that. So Grant, I'd love to know then how you promote marketing shops. So you just mentioned the email blasts. Is that kind of the main method?
Yeah, that's a big one for sure. We have our rock star communications and marketing girl, Melissa. She does, we use Mailchimp primarily, that you touched on in your presentation. And we incorporate all of our stuff into a marketing shop. So those blasts will all come back to a marketing shop. We have the clients are making those impulse buys, whether those are seasonal, ideas or promotions or whatever the case is. And then alternatively, we can use that as a sales team too, and a point of reference for our team to go back to those flyers and promotions and pull from that too.
Oh, that's amazing. I know one thing that we had talked about, this was just earlier when we were chatting one-on-one, but you had mentioned that as your team's best practice was to start with the presentation, right? So that the team can then pull back to that afterwards. Was that
always?
Yeah.
With
okay.
all our shops, we always start with the presentation. And then, I mean, it makes it's so awesome to be able to go back and pull that information, even if it's from a client that's not pulling from the shop themselves, but we can copy that forward into future projects.
So that's amazing. Sorry, that was not a paid promotion, everybody. Grant has so many best practices. And I mean, as you can tell, I don't even have time to get into all of them. So I mean, kind of special tips. So you just shared about being able to copy from the presentations. You've got a solid in-house process with anything. I mean, I'm looking forward to picking your brain after if I can get some more one-on-one time with you at all. But is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience that we've got here?
Likewise, that's the biggest tip for me, is always start with the presentation and take it from there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time, Grant. And thank you so much for your time, everybody else as well. So this will be uploaded to that past event section very shortly. If you need anything in the meantime, reach out to me, not to Grant. He is going to be on his own there, but I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we are here if you need everything or anything. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Bre.